You can see me climbing this ladder to get on top of our camper because on our last trip, I happened to notice that we have some vents up here and one of them is missing its cap. It's hard to see from this distance, but it's broken. You can't snap a new piece on, so I have to replace that entire thing. And that's what we're gonna do right now. Safety first, everybody. Always make sure you have someone holding the ladder. And that someone is also going to be my tool go-getter. As you can see, I've got stuff getting ready to get going down there at the bottom. Oh, boom, boom. Okay. Always be careful. Now, these little guys, oh, it's got some goop in the top here. They just snap. Oh, that one's getting loose too. Snap on top. That's a fun noise. But when those break, as you can see here, you can't just put a new cap on it. As you can see, we've got the self-leveling caulk all over it, which is what you want. You don't want water getting in. However, this has been off for about a week while I ordered a new part. I had something over top of this so water wouldn't get in. So we need to remove the caulk. I haven't done this before, so this is gonna be a new process for me. But there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that I gotta take out. On Amazon, I found by Camco, replace all plumbing vent kit. It comes with the cap. It has some butyl tape in it. And it does have screws. Okay, I was worried about that. I thought I read something in the reviews that it did not. So you had to save your screws. But it appears that there's screws in there. It's black. It didn't come in white, but as you can see, white doesn't stay white for very long. So might as well get black and start it out that way. So here we go. We're gonna remove the caulk. I can kind of pick it up with my fingers here a little bit, but I'm gonna try to get that out somehow and take it from here. You obviously, tools you need something like a soft edge scraper so you can get the caulk off. You need a screwdriver to get the screws out, or a power drill. You need a replacement kit, and you're going to need self-leveling caulk when you're finished so you can seal it back up. If we require any more tools in the future, I will inform you as we go. But step 1, remove the old piece. That's what I'm doing now. Okay, step 1 should be make sure you have the correct size replacement unit before you start doing any of this. Not that it would have mattered because I can always recover this up and wait for a new one to come, but this is the correct size. That's important. As with any repair you do to your roof, you want to make sure that you do not damage it. So this is going to be a very, very careful process. I've never had to do anything like this, so I'm still a little nervous about it myself. So here we go. I'm going to attempt to get these off. No, look at that. Through the caulk, and then see if I can just pull it up from there. So that wasn't so hard. So for the most part, they're all the same, except for that first guy, which is longer. I don't know why that is, but it is the way that is. I'm still gonna hang on to these just in case. Put those off to the side. Yeah, it doesn't just come up easy. Okay, so we do have to get rid of the old caulk. I have a chisel that I'm gonna start with here. I'm taking it off of the old vent cover first. I don't wanna get to a spot where I'm using the chisel over the roof or any sharp object over the roof. Like I say, you don't want to ruin your roof. So I'm just gonna nicely scrape this I have a flathead screwdriver and a putty knife. We're going to attempt getting the vent off with one of these. I'm gonna start with a screwdriver. Wow, that's on there good. Okay, so you get it going and wow, it starts to come off. There we go. It looks like they've got caulk here, which is a smart idea. And then a whole bunch underneath. So I feel like I need to take all this old stuff off before I put the new stuff on. Be very, very careful and kind of, this isn't a process you want to do fast. You want to be very careful taking this off. I should mention that the replacement unit that I bought on Amazon was $6. I did buy 2 because our other ones look like they're going to be going sooner rather than later. And why not have it handy in case I need it? Oh, huh. This is really weird. I don't know if that's normal. If somebody could tell me, I've never done this before. Should I be worried? I guess it hasn't moved yet. I mean, that's probably not why it broke. I mean, we've owned the camper for 5 seasons now, and I'm gonna do an unboxing. Not that you can't see what's in here anyway. However, we've got the replacement unit. We've got the replacement unit, which goes like so. We have screws. This is the putty that goes here. The way they had it down this way, we're gonna put the putty down first, put this back, line up the screw holes so I don't make more holes, and then we're gonna caulk all around it. The next thing you need is lap sealant self-leveling caulk. This is Dicor Products. This is what I've used in the past. It works pretty well. I got these on Amazon also. A 4-pack was like $40. It seems a little expensive, but everything is right now. You could buy a 2-pack for like $30, so I just bought 4. This process is very slow going, and I decided to help myself that I would get Goo Gone. So my trusty assistant threw me up a bottle. Thankfully, I read the back, and the very first thing it says, do not use on silk, leather, suede, upholstery, or rubber. The roof is a rubber type material. I don't want to take that chance, so we're not using it. Just wanted to give everybody that heads up. Do not use Goo Gone on your camper roof. It could be perfectly safe and harmless. I just don't want to take that chance. And there we have it. I got just about all of the old putty and caulk off the roof. So there's still little bits here and there. For the most part, that job has been finished. So next step is going to be taking the putty that it came with and placing it around the bottom of this. I don't want to put it on the camper because then I'm going to lose where my screw holes are. I want to place it around the bottom of the new unit and then squish it on where the screw holes should be. Boink. Let me put you down here so I can get both hands free, and we are going to start that process. For anybody that knows me, knows I hate shoes. So if you get to see my big gross feet throughout this process, I apologize. All right, so they give us a lot of putty. I have a feeling this should do more than just this one thing, but I'm just gonna kind of break it off into chunks and mold it in a circle around the outside, piece by piece. Actually, I don't know, it's about right. So that was about a quarter, and I'm about a quarter of the way around. I'm overlapping where I break it, just so I don't have any missing spots. You don't want water getting into your roof. So that actually took almost all of it. And I'm gonna get where I overlapped it and put on another piece to overlap my overlaps. That way, I know I'm good. So I've got the putty all the way around. The next step is going to be putting it on here. What you want to do is make sure that your screw holes line up and then shove it down into place. I've got it pretty much smashed down pretty good. The new screws that it come with are slightly shorter than the old screws. So I think I want to reuse the old screws. It shouldn't be a problem, but why make it a problem, you know? You just take your screws, it should be in the same spot, and screw it in. As I'm doing it, the putty is squishing out the bottom, which means I'm getting it smashed down even harder, which is good. For the final step, we want to use our caulk and caulk the screws. I mean, I'm gonna do quite a bit. I'm gonna go over the whole flange, really, all the way around. Make sure you cover the screws and make sure that you've got enough coverage. I mean, I can see, it might not be visible in the camera, but the caulk came out about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch from the edge of the unit here. I'm gonna go crazy and just have at it. If you've never used caulk before, what you want to do first is get the tip cut. Every caulk gun now has a spout cutter. It's even labeled. You put this in here where you want it, squeeze the handle, and it cuts the end off for you. I want to get a wide amount of caulk, a lot of caulk, so I want to get the top cut pretty big. So I'm going to stick it in as far as it goes. And there we have it. Top came off. I've got a hole. Your caulk gun should have a bayonet, a little poker to poke a hole in the caulk. The caulk goes bottom side in first, and then you squeeze the trigger to get it in place, and then we caulk. Self-leveling caulk is different than any caulk you've ever used before. You don't smooth it out like you would if you're doing like a bathroom. You basically squeeze it on, and it, as its name implies, levels itself. It'll just out. It'll basically just goo its way out. So go crazy if you want to. And I'm gonna go around it here another time to make sure that I've got the whole thing sealed properly. The final step is admire the work you just did on your camper roof. If you're like me, you might get nervous, and you have every right to be. However, if you take your time and just go slow enough, you're not going to run into any problems. This whole job took me about an hour from start to finish, and that includes filming. So it's really not that bad. Trust yourself, and you'll be fine. Step 2 is everything else that I just recorded. You'll be hearing that in a moment.